latest on Cyclone Idai, which is to make landfall later this evening and is still a Category 3 with winds of 115 miles per hour and a pressure of 958 millibars. It remains a very intense storm with devastation likely as it puts forward its storm surge and extremely heavy rainfall potential. As you can see on the chart there, a stage 7 still on the CDPS scale. Catastrophic is the label attached to stage 7. Here's its location right now, drawing in very close to land now. It's at 19.9 south, 36.2 degrees east as of 6 p.m. Eastern African time this March the 14th. It puts it 84 miles from Beira, 91 from Nova Sofala just to the south, 182 from Chimoio, 292 from Blantyre in southern Malawi, and 306 from Tete in towards the northwestern part of Mozambique. The yellow areas show tropical storm conditions possible in the next 48 hours. Of course, they're probably already occurring across parts of the coastline at this point, because the tropical storm force wind field does extend a lot more than 80 miles, so the whole region, the coastline, should be receiving tropical storm force winds. Here's a look at what the GFS model is proposing over the next few days. The storm moving inland, still moving due west before turning northwest on Friday probably, over Zimbabwe, and eventually, some model ensembles possibly hinting that the storm will move back towards the northeast, but now none of the models are saying that it will re-emerge over the Mozambique Channel. They're all calling for rapid dissipation inland, but of course residual rainfall could lead to more significant flooding, with possibly 900 millimeters of rain for some of these areas over the next 5 days. Sea surface temperatures are still very warm, 29 degrees or so, maybe slightly less by now, certainly enough for any intensification, possibly last minute stuff from Idai. It doesn't look like it though, looking at its structure, which you'll see shortly. The models, again, this is the GFS showing the wind there. What usually happens with storms that move inland over this part of the region is that they really weaken very quickly. The rain will long outlive the strong winds, which of course are also being felt along the coast right now, as well as its storm surge, which will be pushing inland over the next few hours as well. It's going to be a very miserable situation for parts of the coastline there. These are the chances of tropical storm force winds, a little bit redundant now this graphic, but 40% chance at Quelimane, 95% in Beira, 75 at Chimoio, 45 at Tete, and 20 in Blantyre. This is what the rest of the models are saying. Again, a pretty redundant graphic. We're just looking at how quickly it's going to weaken from here on in. You can see the HWRF having a bit of a peak there, but all of the models rapidly dissipating this storm. Wind shear remains low for what it's worth now. Sea surface temperatures remain fairly high. You can see the track forecast there, the HWRF taking it all the way through Zimbabwe, the other models not doing so. It doesn't make it even halfway through the country. Well, this is how the actual storm has been looking in the last 12 hours. As you can see, still looking pretty ferocious, although it is showing a sizable deficiency in the western part of the eye wall now. The eye is starting to struggle. It's much less intense than it was last night. The eye temperature is down to 8 degrees Celsius. It was 16 last night. A colder eye means a weaker eye, and the cloud top's not looking quite as hot either. It is approaching land. It's going to be a little bit weaker by the time it gets there. It's still going to be a devastating storm for the whole region. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle. It's @Force13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. Of course, you can come into direct contact with us by messaging Fool13 on Discord at extension 9094 and Force13 on Skype. And our partners are also doing updates, Mateo e Cyclone Maurice on Facebook.